Hi ladies, welcome back to another video. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to share with you guys this customized set of press-on nails that my client requested. So as you guys know, if you watch my previous press-on video, this is the message that I require my clients to fill out. Now she did purchase a sample kit, so she was able to size her own nails, and this is the design that she sent me to recreate on these nails. However, she did not want them that long. So we are using the Ombre Gel X long stilettos, which are not that long. Now these I've had for ever and a day. I did feature it in this video right here. So all of the press on nail supplies you can find on my Amazon storefront, including the Ombre Gel X tips, because I do love using these for my press ons. They're a little more sturdy than the regular plastic tips for me. So I already sized her nail tips, and I am just going ahead and sharpening up that stiletto, making sure that the number at the free edge of the nail tip is directly in the center. Once it is you are filing the tip on both sides, you want to make sure that you keep the center of that nail where it needs to be. And to reshape these nails, I'm using my favorite hand files. They are the Kiara Sky 100 grit rectangular files. And if you guys are interested in purchasing any of the products that I mentioned in today's video, I will have them linked and listed in my description box below, as well as my discount code, so you guys can save yourself some money as well as purchase some of these amazing items. And now I'm taking my Kiara Sky 100 grit pink buffer block, and I'm going to use this to remove the shine off of all these nails. Now whenever you're doing press-ons, gel X, gel tips, anything like that, you have to start by removing the shine off of the nails. Now I know in the Ombre instructions they do say to go in with a lint-free wipe and some acetone. That way you remove the shine off of the nail, and it does create a sort of a tacky barrier, so that way you can just go in and apply your gel polish on top of that. But for me personally, I do feel as though I need to adhere my gel polish properly to the nail tip, so therefore I go in with the 100 grit side of the buffer to remove that surface shine. This is just to ensure definitely that my polish is not going to peel and my clients are going to have their press-on nails to last them a really long time. Because using the Gel X nail tips, you are using a more expensive nail tip rather than the regular, cheap plastic tips. So you do want to give your clients their money's worth. Now my final step when prepping my press-on nails, I take my Kiara Sky Jelly Tips Primer and I coat it over the entire surface of the nail. This is just going to add to the extra adhesion that I need for my gel polish to hold to the gel tips. Now I'm going in with Madam Glam's Perfect Black, and I'm going to be applying two nice but thin even layers to the thumbnail, the index finger, and the ring finger, carrying in between each coat for 60 seconds in my Kiara Sky Beyond Pro rechargeable LED lamp. Now speaking of the rechargeable LED light, like I have the blue one, and Kiara Sky just released Friday the 13th a brand new pink unicorn combo, the light and the nail drill. And if you guys missed my short on that, this y'all, it is just gorgeous. So I would leave the link to those in the description box as well. It is limited edition, so when it's gone they will not be restocking it, so definitely take advantage of it. It is on sale right now. Plus you can use the discount code, my discount code, Be Glam, and save yourself an additional 10% off that sale price, which is fabulous. Definitely check it out, guys. Whew. So after all that excitement, let's get back to the video. I'm taking my Madam Glam's Velvet Matte Gel Top Coat, and I'm going to be applying this to the index and the ring finger, but I'm curing it for 30 seconds. And what I do like about the Madam Glam's Velvet Matte is that as soon as you take it out of the light, it is matte and there's no need to cleanse it. There's no need to take off that dispersion layer. with Madam Glam's Perfect White Gel Polish and their long fine liner brush. You guys, this is not the first time you're seeing this. I am really loving this brush, and I do want to mention to you guys that the brush handle is protected by a UV coat, so it's sort of acetone resistant. I guess after the years of using it, it's eventually going to wear and tear with acetone or alcohol, but so far so good. It's been holding up. So I'm taking the Perfect White and I'm going to be dividing this nail into a sort of a diagonal half, I would say, but I'm not doing a straight diagonal. I'm sort of curving the line, so I'm making, you can see, an S shape with our Perfect White halfway on the nail, and then I'm going to take the application brush from the gel polish and I'm going to brush that all the way to the free edge of the extension, making sure to keep this layer nice and thin and clean up that line if I have to. Now it does not need to be perfect. I'm just making sure that I have enough space at the tip of the nail for my pigment. Now if it is you're obsessed with making your nails perfect, you can line them up like what I'm showing you here, so that you have it gauged with the finished hand and the hand that you're doing now, so that way the nail is divided as evenly as possible and you have that flawless look throughout your entire set. However, I just try to eyeball it and make sure that it's as even as possible. It usually does work out, but even if it's a little off, you're not really going to notice it because it is going to be covered anyway. So again, using the brush applicator from that gel polish, I'm going to keep this layer really nice and thin. And just because I want to make sure that that layer is nice and thin, it is going to look streaky at first, so I did go in with a second coat, again keeping it really nice and thin because we are applying multiple layers to these nails. And this is the reason why I did not use my Madam Glam's Pure Serenity, because I know I'm applying layers to this set. Okay guys, so with that Perfect White, I'm taking some acetone on this brush and I'm going to thin down that gel polish. This is what I'm going to use to create the smoke effect on the index and the ring finger, and you do want it to be nice and thin. So here I'm showing you guys what you don't want it to look like. You don't want it to look like that. That gel polish is not thin enough. So I'm going to go in with more acetone and you want it to flow on the nail. Some parts are going to be dark, some parts are going to be light, and that is what is going to give you the effect that you need. I'm also taking some acetone on that brush that already has that white gel polish on it, and I'm just tapping it to sort of blend out any harsh lines. And when I'm happy with the way that it looks, I am going to go ahead and cure this, and I'm only going to cure it for 15 seconds while I repeat the same step to the other nail. Taking that thin down gel polish once again. This time I don't want it as thin or translucent as the first layer, so it is a little bit more opaque this time, and this is just going to give it that nice layered smoke effect. This layer is also going to help the color of the pigments to shine through a little bit more. So now I'm taking my Macart nail art foil glue, yes, and I'm going to be applying this to the entire nail. Now take my advice, whenever you're using nail art stickers or pigments, add your foil glue on top of it. It does cure with that extra sticky layer, which is going to help the pigments and even your nail stickers to hold to that adhesive, and it's not gonna move. You can just go ahead and add your no wipe gel top coat on top of it and you will thank me later. It makes life so much easier, other than having to apply 3 layers of no wipe gel top coat in order to make sure those stickers don't peel up. So I went ahead and applied the foil glue to all the nails that I have to add pigment to, And I'm using a mixture of pigment and acrylic powders for this step. So this yellow is called Light Up by Kiara Sky. It's from their all-in-one powder collection. And because the Kiara Sky powders do double as dip powders as well, it makes it so much easier to use them as pigment. The blue one that you see there is an acrylic powder that I mixed years ago, and I just have what's left in that bottle. And the pink is a pigment that I can't remember where I purchased it from, but I have had it for so many years. So for me personally, I try to save as much money as I can. So therefore, I use and reuse stuff that I already have. So this is what it looks like. I did overlap the yellow with the blues to get green, and then the blue with the pink to get purple. And now I'm taking another layer of that foil glue just because I wanted the colors to be more vibrant, and I cure that again for another 60 seconds, and I'm going to start packing the pigment and blending them once again. Now the first layer doesn't need to be that blended because it's going to be hidden, so you just need to blend it enough where there are no harsh lines in your pigment blend. And the second layer, you do want to go in and make sure that it's very nicely blended, and you try to get as much of the white covered as possible, but not cover it all, because you still want some of that smoke effect to come through. And now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to seal in that pigment again with my final layer of the foil gel. And this is why I said I did not use the Pure Serenity, which is the Madame Glam's builder in a bottle, because I know how many layers of gel top coat and art gel that I'm going to be applying to this nail. So after curing that foil gel layer, I'm applying my final layer of top coat, which is the Madame Glam's No Wipe Gel Top Coat. And that is it. That is what I'm going to do for the smoke effect nails. So for the ombre at the tip of my nails, I'm starting off with the yellow to the free edge of the extension, and I'm just starting by packing that color on. I'm not focusing on blending it just yet, and then I'm going to start overlapping the yellow with the blue and working it back towards the cuticle area, and then I'm going to take that pink closer to the cuticle. So that is how it's going to be layered. Again, it does not need to be perfect the first time. One thing I can tell you guys, because I'm working with such a small space, I can tell you that foil glue, it keeps the pigments in place, so it did make creating the ombre a little bit difficult, especially in this little space. Like, it was so easy on the smoke effect nails. I didn't stress too much about it. I just went ahead and cleaned it up because I realized blending was impossible. So this is why I tell you guys, like, I leave my mistakes in so that you can learn from it. So I will tell you to start blending the color in right away and not pack, not create like a line of yellow, a line of blue, a line of pink, and then try to blend it in after, because it's not gonna work. So you want to try blending it in as you go down. It's going to make it easier for you to create that smooth ombre transition between the three colors. Now, I absolutely love how it turned out in the end. One thing I can tell you is that even if you apply 2 layers of the foil art glue to the tip, just make sure that it's really nice and thin, because if it's not blended as much as you would like and you need to go in with a third layer, then you definitely want to make sure that you maintain the shape of these nails at the same time, because we are working at the tip of the nail. Make sure to keep it nice and thin. So in this case, I found like I needed a third layer. So this is me applying that layer as thin as possible, because I'm not finished with this nail yet. And after curing that for 60 seconds, as you guys can see, I went into the pink and the blue to create the purple on my brush. And that really did seem to help with the blend. So that is all I'm going to do for the tip of these nails. Now when I'm happy with the ombre, I'm not going to be sealing it in just yet with that foil art glue. I am just going to use my Kiara Sky dust brush, remove any excess pigment, and I'm going to go in with the next step. So now we're going to work on the other half of that nail. So taking my perfect black gel polish once again and my fine liner brush, I'm going to start by cleaning up the line that divides the nail tip from the cuticle area. And I'm just going to make sure that this line is nice and crisp. This is why I said earlier that that white line did not need to be perfect, because this is where you need to make sure it's nice and clean. So I'm applying that line thick enough, and then I'm going to take the applicator brush from the gel polish and I'm going to go ahead and fill in that cuticle area. Because Madam Glam gel polishes are so pigmented, I can get away with one layer of the perfect black, making sure to keep it nice, thin and even, so that way the cuticle area of my press-ons are not too thick. So I am happy with the way that that looks. I went ahead and cured that for a full 60 seconds, and I'm just going to repeat the same steps to the pinky nail. After curing those two nails, I'm going to seal in that pigment now with another coat of my nail art foil glue. And this time I'm going to go from cuticle all the way to the free edge, so that way I have a nice smooth even surface to apply the rhinestones to. So this is what my set looks like so far. It is so pretty, but now it's time to glam it up. So I'm starting with the Kiara Sky Bling It Gel from their Bling It On collection. And I'm going to be applying this to the entire nail. Now because this is a new bottle, I did apply a little too much. So this is me trying to take off as much of the excess as possible. And before curing, I'm going to take the Bling It applicator and I'm going to start placing my rhinestones where I want them to be, using the wax tool to place them and the opposite end to shift them around as much as I would like until I'm happy with the way that it looks. And then I'm going to pop this into the light and I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds. Now one thing I noticed is that the Bling It gel does cure with that tacky layer, so you still have to go in and apply your no wipe gel top coat after placing your crystals, which I would have loved for it to cure with that non-tacky shiny top coat, so that way I don't have to go in and around my crystals to protect them. However, it does hold the crystals in place. They do not move, they do not budge, which is actually a really good thing. So I do love that about it. So if you guys are interested, I would link it in my description box as well. And I do have a really quick video coming up on the Kiara Sky Rhinestones, because they did release their Bling It On collection and I am using some of their crystals, and this one is called Northern Lights. It's the AB crystals. After doing the placement on that finger, I did go ahead and cure it, while I repeat the same step to this nail. So I'm going to place the rhinestones along that black line as well, and I'm just going to shift it around until I'm happy with it, and I'm going to pop it into the light and I give it a full cure for 60 seconds. And because I wasn't sure of what the thumbnail of the set that my client requested looks like, I just felt like keeping it a little bit simple, all black with just some rhinestones down one side of the tip of the nail. And after curing all the bling gel, I did go in with my Madam Glam's Velvet Matte to these three nails and gave them their final cure of 60 seconds. Oh my gosh, guys, I am obsessed with how pretty these turned out. Oh my gosh, look at them. They're just so gorgeous. So now that everything is finished, I'm going to clean off my background and get ready to package these press-ons up. So I did include the packaging part for you guys to see. Now, each item I purchased individually, but on my Amazon storefront, I did find a manicure kit that is perfect for press-on nails. So before packaging these up, I'm going to use my Kiara Sky hand sanitizer, and I absolutely love this. Yes, I know I'm wearing gloves, but given the times that we are living in, you can never be too sanitized. So I cleaned up my background, I wiped down everything, and we're going in with a fresh start. So I'm using this white foam tape because I didn't have any more of the clear ones, and I'm going to package this little kit, and I'm putting in a buffer, some lint-free wipes, of course the nail glue, an orange wood stick, and a mini hand file. And what I did forget that I needed to put in here as well are the glue tabs. So I did go in my drawer, pull out some because I do have a box of them, and I just put one card of the glue tabs inside of that packaging as well. And this just gives my clients the option of usage. So if you want to use your press-ons more than a week, you can definitely use the nail glue once you prep your nails correctly. They will last, but if it's short-term for just like a weekend, I will suggest prepping and using the glue tabs. It's an option that's totally up to them. So now I'm going to take the foam tape and I'm going to just place 2 rows of it onto my cardstock. Now in my last press on video, you guys were asking me for this. Unfortunately, I cannot find it on Amazon, and this is actually my last one. So on my Amazon storefront, I did give you guys some packaging options like jewelry boxes, different colors, different sizes, different shapes. And if I can find a really pretty cardstock this size, I will definitely add it to my Amazon storefront, or even if I can find it on a different website, because because I do love using the holographic bags and I have a lot of it, so I don't want to change up my packaging too much. So once I find it, I will definitely link it for you guys. But for now, you can check out my Amazon storefront, which I would link in the description box under Press On Nail Essentials, where you can find almost everything you need to get started, whether you're planning to sell press on nails or you're just creating them for fun to keep them for yourself. I will have all the tools that you need to get started, other than the products that I use to create the designs, which you guys know where I get them from, and I will have that link down there as well. So after packaging these up, I'm just going to slide this cardstock into a holographic zipper bag, and this is just those zipper bags that you can put like candy in. You can store almost anything in it. And that brings me to a very important tip that I want to leave you guys with in today's video. If you are planning to sell your press-on nails and you do decide to invest in the AFTERPAY Gel X tips or even the Kiara Sky Jelly tips, you do want to cut costs with your packaging but still have it look cute and professional. And these holographic bags are so reasonable, and you get like 100. That way you save money on your packaging, so you can invest more money into the quality of the products that you're producing for your customers. And your customers are going to be very happy because they're going to love the quality of the press-on nails that you are selling, and that way you keep your customers coming back. So I'm just going to finish packaging these up. I did order one size too big with these bags this time, but it still works. And after I do that, I'm just going to slide everything into a pink floral paper bag, and there's no need for me to seal the bag because I know she's going to be excited. These are her birthday nails, so she's going to want to open it up as soon as I hand that package to her. And that is basically it for today's video. I hope it was both helpful and informative. If it was, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about this set in the comment section below. That is it for me. I hope you're having an amazing day or night, whatever time it is where you're watching from right now. As always, I would love for you guys to stay glamorous, be safe, and I'll see you soon.